Good morning. Today is going to be the 0 day in Chico. I've got some running around to do. I'll show you what my new replacement gear and new toys and stuff is going to be. We're going to send some old stuff home. But for now, it's time for breakfast. So I think we're going to go back to the Morning Thunder Cafe. That place was good. And we'll get something to eat. I'll see you there. Well, Morning Thunder was closed unexpectedly, just like in Quincy. So we're going to hit up the Roost. It's our backup plan. We're done with breakfast. That was awesome. Right now we're exploring Bidwell Park. We're kind of in the upper northeast section of it. Looking at some of the geological formation and trees and stuff out here. A lot of the hillsides and cliffs and stuff are all formed from volcanic activity over the millions and millions of years and kind of eroded away, and there's a bunch of different neat geological formations out here we can take a peek at. We're down by the water. This is the Big Chico Creek. This area specifically is called Bear Hole, and all the rock formation and stuff in here is all volcanic lava, just as it was when it laid down and formed.
So basically you can't roll through it to get water. And it's about 200 feet deep.
Time for a little tour of the Chico Air Museum.
From 42 to 45.
Yeah.
Not all of the time, but they do training. They did something with officers later on.
My nephew was retired Air Force Navy. He's walking the Pacific Coast. So he's got the bell now. What?
This is just a close-up of the space shuttle tire. I figure they one-time use only, and there's where it touched down when it landed. The one rubbed away spot. And they change them out after every flight. This is my kind of toy right here. The model airplane room. These are also the kind of toys I wish I had. And there's my airplane. KC-135, 20 years on it. Just taking a last look at some of the outside exhibits here. There's some of the local firefighting aircraft sitting on alert here at Chico. And this guy over here is also used for firefighting. Well, now we're back at the house. That was some fun. Running around, getting to see the town a little bit. Definitely more of an aviation geek myself, so visiting the Air Museum was pretty cool. But I think it's time to go over some of the gear I'm swapping out and some of the new things. So here's the old shoes. You got the oboes. These were the Sawtooth 2s. These things have got, 1,200 and something trail miles on them, and I had a couple hundred miles on them before. So it's definitely time to get rid of the shoes. The tread on these things is totally gone. And I got the insoles from Sol. These are the super thick cork bottom insoles. I got the insoles when I was in Kennedy Meadows South, so they've got another, 600, 700 miles on them or whatever. So out with the old, in with the new. Brand new, beautiful, same thing, oboes, sawtooth 2s, brand new insoles on the inside. And hopefully I can carry these shoes all the way to the finish line and swap out the insoles one more time about 700 miles in, and I think that should work just fine. Next up is the water filter. I got the Katadyn Be Free. Here's the old one. Swap this guy out for a brand new one. The flow rate on these things just don't last. They'll last you a month or two, and then you just eventually have to get a new one. So this is going to work much better now that I got a brand new one going on. And I'm also got a new pair of gaiters. These things were the original ones I took. They did the whole Appalachian Trail and 1,200 and something miles out here. They had holes in them when I started, and I was kind of leery about how they would hold up. And I was like, they're a little ripped, they're okay. But just after a little bit through the desert, I mean, these things started getting shredded. The holes in it started getting bigger. This one's actually not too bad. This is the worst one. And, even though they still kind of mostly covered the top of the shoe okay, they just weren't working anymore, and I was constantly getting rocks in my shoe for the last couple hundred miles. So we got brand new ones from Dirty Girl Gaiters. Same color, same style. These things are awesome. Definitely worth it. I'll never hike without gaiters. And I think the last new item I've got is a new air mattress. This is the old now. This is the NEMO Tensor one I got in Kennedy Meadows, the south one. This was to replace my original Neo Air Thermarest pad, because that original one that I started this trail with already had 2,200 something miles on it from doing the AT. Desert section punctured a few holes in it, so I got to limp that one along for 700 miles. Got this one as the replacement, and I never mentioned, but this thing started leaking somewhere around right before coming into South Lake Tahoe. So I did the bathtub leak test in South Lake Tahoe. This thing had some holes in it, so of the one remaining patch square that I had, I cut that one up into fourths and was kind of patching those holes, and it just was continuing to leak, and I limped it all the way along up to here. But this one didn't have any punctures on the bottom. All the holes it was getting was along the sides on the top edge, so it was literally coming apart at the seams. So it was more like a manufacturing defect than getting holes punctured from something else. So I don't know, I didn't like this thing anyway. I think the the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite pads are definitely better. So I got a brand new one. This is the same one I took on the AT, the wide version. And hopefully I can rock this the rest of the way without getting any holes in it. So we'll see how long this thing lasts. And lastly, the stuff I'm going to be sending home. We'll hit up a post office at some point today. But the micro spikes, I thought I would need them for this very last stretch. There's forecasted to be patches of snow in between, wherever I was last at Donner Pass up to Belden, but there really wasn't anything. And then there's really nothing forecast until you get like up into Oregon. There's still heavy snows up there, but a lot of that stuff should be melted in another 6 weeks plus by the time I get that far north. So hopefully, with any luck, I'm not going to be walking on any more snow, but you never know. Anyway, these things are heavy. I don't need them anymore. The micro spikes are going home. And I'm also sending home the sunglasses. These were just the clip-on ones that I had. I mainly only ever needed these for walking through the snow for snow blindness, and they worked excellent. It's really not that bright out here where I need sunglasses otherwise, so I think I'm going to send these things home. I'm not using them anymore. Hopefully, again, if I run into snow, then snow blindness again could be an issue, but so far, I don't think I need them. So I think that's all the things that I got new, replaced, and things I'm sending home. So right now I think the next on the agenda is going to be laundry, so we'll get all this stuff in the wash, and then I think we're just going to snack on some leftovers for here at the house, and eventually we'll go back out and take care of some of the other needs, like hitting up the post office and doing the resupply. And I'll show you what this next stretch looks like as well, so I'll check back in later. Going with helping to finish off the leftovers for lunch while my laundry's cooking. Got my laundry finished up. I think we're about to head into town and do some shopping and stuff. So here's what the next stretch looks like. I'm going to get dropped off at Belden tomorrow morning. Trying to get about 23.5 miles to a Tentsite here. And that next day we hit the halfway point. 21 miles total till we get to Highway 36, which will get us into Chester. It looked like the Antlers Motel is kind of the best place in town. And then for the next stretch, so that'll be like 2 days worth of food. I've already got like an extra freeze-dried dinner because the last stretch I sped up a little bit on, so I only need like some snacks really to get me through here. We can resupply in Chester. And the next stretch looks like I might do breakfast in town, so depending on how late I get, maybe only a 15-mile day. To get to Boundary Spring, there's Lassen National Park coming up starting at Boundary Spring, and there's no camping in Lassen unless you've got a bear can, but nobody's got a bear can anymore. Everybody got rid of them all. So you have to get like 19 miles to get through that. So as long as I camp at Boundary Spring, do a 23.5-mile day, we can get to Hat Creek, and that should be fine getting through Lassen. And then a 27-mile day to a tent site. Tent sites are kind of few and far between through this stretch, and just kind of going off of comments from what I see and far out. But that'll finish us up with a 14.5-mile day. We'll get to Highway 299, which will get us into Bernie. And it looked like the Shasta Pines Motel was the place to be there. So I think that's all what I'm going to aim for these next couple of go-arounds here. And now it's time to go take care of our shopping needs. So we're going to hit up, I got to get a little bit of food. It's only going to be a 2-day stretch. And we're going to get a haircut while we're out. I'm going to refreshen up on my gas for the stove. And the post office to mail out some of that stuff. So you'll see a little bit of that periodically as we do some more running around. First stop, Sportsman's Warehouse. There's the second stop to ship out the microspikes and such. Just need to get a few things at the Walmart. Last stop, I think, Barber John's for the haircut. And we're back at the house. I got all tasks complete, so I think we're done. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to get back on trail. So it's been an awesome time, just hanging out with family and enjoying another 0 day. So I think from here we're just going to be chilling, doing dinner at the house a little bit later. So we'll check back in once we get that all settled. We'll see what we have for dinner. All right, it's dinner time. Let's see what we're having. There we go. This stuff looks awesome. Rockfish is the specialty for tonight. Thank you very much. This is gonna go down awesome. And back at the house. That was just a quick run down to the local Mexican ice cream place for some dessert. That was awesome. And I think that's going to do it for tonight. Enjoyed a wonderful 0 day again with relatives in Chico. So Uncle Ralph and Jamie, thanks for having me over. It's been awesome. It's such a blessing to have a cool place to stay, chill, relax. You don't have to worry about where you're going to stay, logistics for resupply, all that stuff's been taken care of. So it's such a cool ease of burden on an adventure like this. And with any luck, future planning down the road, when we get towards Ashland, we may all meet up again and get to hang out up there. So that'd be kind of cool. So I think that's going to do it. Tomorrow we're leaving bright and early, getting back on trail, and we'll continue from there, the march towards Chester. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. We are up nice and early and heading out back to the trail, and it's about an hour and a half or so from where we're at in Chico. So I'll just check back in once we get all the way back to Belden. Here we are, made it back to Belden town. So we'll say goodbye to Uncle Ralph. Again, thanks for having me over.
You
It's
bet.
been awesome.
Always great.
And I'll get back on trail. We'll see you down there. Heading out of Belden town. There's a lot of old bridges out here. Crossing the North Fork, the Feather River, and we're going to be heading up that way, I think, up that hillside and then up one of the side valleys. But the date on this bridge, 1912. There's a lot of the small little hydroelectric power stations along the river here. Getting back into the woods. Every hiker says this, but you never realize how beat down your shoes are until you put on a fresh pair. There's a huge noticeable difference. Well, I guess there used to be a bridge here. That's fine, I can scramble down and I'm sure I can do this feet dry. And nothing beats the flow rate of a brand new water filter. We're now making our way up this back valley that we could see from like 2 days ago when we were making the descent down into here. But we are working our way uphill for about the next 12 miles or so. We're going from 2,000 feet back up to 7,000 feet, back up into the mountains. This is the tenting site of William's cabin, but there's no cabin here. Even if there was, I think it would have burned up in the fire. Lots of water, at least, on this huge hill climb. Man, this area is kind of a really burned out, rocky mess. Another deer just right off the side of the trail. There's the bridge over Chips Creek. Man, this has been a one long uphill slog. We still got miles to go to the top still. Yeah, we're still not near the top yet. We still got like 2.5 miles from here. There's looking back. Pleasant little field area. And I guess we're officially in the Cascades. All the rocks up here is all lava rock. Lots of volcanic activity in this area. All lava rock. Got a little dirt road crossing. And 1,300 miles. A neat sign. We made it to the top. 14 miles of continuous uphill. 5 hours and 45 minutes. And I'm gonna take my first rest break for the day. Tall mountain out there in the distance, but I'm not sure which one that is. But from here, I've got some ups and downs. 10 more miles or so to my intended campsite for tonight. And I think water is going to be a little more few and far between. Coming up this hill, it was like every half mile was water everywhere. Now it's going to be closer to 5 miles apart or so. Nothing too serious yet. Walking through hundreds of miles of forest like this kind of gets to you after a while. You're like, all right, we understand fire is bad, but holy crap. I don't even think the video emphasizes the level of destruction out here. Every once in a while I get some wide shots from a mountaintop, but it's just different when you're walking through it every day. Nice little meadow in the middle of all the burn area. There's a side trail to Cold Spring, 300 feet. Looks like a couple other guys down here getting water too. This is the last water source for the end of the day. And we got about 5 miles to camp. So I'm definitely gonna load up here. Cold Springs water source. This is an amazing one. I'm all filled up, ready to get back on trail. Still seeing a lot of the white diamond old style blazes. Just don't forget that that means the PCT as well. If you don't see the new blazes, the diamond still tells you you're on the right trail. I feel like today's kind of the craziest example of what a burned out forest looks like. Nothing on the ground, it's just rocky. And dead, burned out trees everywhere. Every once in a while, there's a little patch that got spared. That big lake out there is Lake Almoner. And the town of Chester is up that way on the north end of the lake. And that's where we'll be tomorrow. The moon up there. Awesome views. We're getting close to camp. Very close, I think. I made it to camp. I went a little bit further than my original planned destination. I think this will work. There's the trail right there, so we're literally just right next to it. Awesome cliff views. The light breeze, so as long as it's not too crazy, I don't think we'll get blown over in the night. It's nice volcanic rock up here too. I think that's going to do it for today. Another great day of hiking. It's a long uphill. Once we were up on the ridge, it wasn't too bad. And just lots of burned out and stuff areas. But we're in an awesome spot. It's not too windy. And we got a great view all the way around. So I've just got cooked up my last meal, the chicken Alfredo one. And then tomorrow, it's about a little over 20 miles. And then we're getting to a road crossing where we can get into the town of Chester. So I think we're all set otherwise. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.